All right, today I'm trying to make a dustpan. I'm not gonna try, you're gonna try. I'm gonna show you how to make it. So first I want you to make a set of literal life-size plans, loosely based off of this. So let's go for a 16-inch opening, and then this is 10 deep. Let's go for 12 deep. So 16 wide, 12 deep. And on the sides, we're gonna go up to maybe 4-inch high. And we're gonna taper back, so for it's 16, we'll go to 13. So I made myself some notes, 16-inch wide, 12-inch deep, 4-inch high, 13-inch wide in the back. And then we'll just start out with a basic shape. So what I want to do is use this square on the paper so that I can get good dimensions. And our piece of poster board is 28 long, so half of 28 is 14. Now I'm going to make sure that the framing square is flat against the bottom. I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to put a big C right there to remind me what that's for. All right, so we said it's 16 inches wide. That means we're going to go 8 inches to either side. We can draw some more lines for that. Again, make sure that it is flat against the bottom edge. Both sides. All right, so the front should be okay. Now what we're going to want to do is let's figure out how deep we said. So we said 12 inches deep. I'm going to mark 12. I like to mark in a couple places just to make sure I don't mess up. By a couple, I mean 3 minimum. On the left-hand side, I'll run the speed square evenly. And I'm going to make myself a nice little straight line there. So in the back, we said it's 13 inches wide, so half of 13 is 6.5. So put a mark at 6.5, put another mark at 6.5. And now we're going to kind of taper this that direction. I want to build a wall in the back, so I said 4 inches high. Let's see what that looks like from here, which is 1.5, and we'll just go all the way out to 4. Same thing from this inner line. We'll go out to 4. Follow this line in. And now I can come down to this corner. All right. We said we wanted it 4 inches high in the back. Just running off of what we started with our original back line. I'm gonna put 3 marks at 4. I'll line up the side of the speed square with the poster because we've set everything square off of this poster. All right. And then we're probably going to want a little lip to fold it back over itself. So let's do a 1-inch lip. All right, so that's 1 inch, that's 4 inches, that's 12 inches. We wanted to taper back to 13, and then we went 4 inches out to get our height. So we still have a little more building to do. Gonna square this up at the bottom and make it line up with this edge right here. Let's run that line wild a little bit. Do the same thing over here. The importance of this is that you start out with square lines, and in other words, they're 90 degrees, parallel and perpendicular. And then as long as you stay with that, we can kind of figure out where everything needs to go. And then we'll have to decide which lines are going to get cut and not cut. So on this, we could even add, a 1/2-inch strip that will get double folded over. I'm not sure how hard that will be. The aluminum we're using is pretty thick, so I might just forgo that, at least on this first one. So now let's figure out kind of what we need to do. So I'm gonna run a line from here. Run a line from here. And then let's just double check. Yep, so that's 4. That's 4. 1, 1, 1. 4 to the bottom. This is 13. And this is 16. And then we've got to figure out what we're going to cut and what we're going to bend first. So ideally, we're going to need this cut. And then honestly, we can cut this here, all right? So I'm gonna say let's, if that gets folded up, that gets folded over, then all of this should get cut out, so that makes sense. We're gonna cut this out completely. This should be the first part to get bent. All right, so it's 1, I'm gonna circle it so I don't get it confused with anything else. This next part is gonna get bent again, but we also need to bend these over. So that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. We're gonna have to make a cut right here. So you see where I'm stopping my cut. So once we do that, we should be able to bend this piece first, bend that piece, second, and then third, and then fourth. But the more I think about it, it might be first, second, third, fourth. And we can figure that out in a second as soon as we cut it. So let's go ahead and do that. In worst case, we have to make another one of these, just the way it goes. Could she say violently? So there you go. We've got our basis for the dustpan. I'm going to design a handle in a different video, but you're going to take this, you're going to do the layout just like I did onto a piece of poster board. You'll cut it out, assemble it, make sure that your name is on it real big with a date so that I know it's yours. And then you can take it apart and you can lay this out on the sheet of aluminum. You're gonna trace it, and then you're gonna make these marks. So, use a magic marker or whatever and tell yourself that needs to be cut line, right? You can remind yourself that that part needs to be cut. Now that we know this angle, we could possibly figure it out. You could measure from here to here and make a point and then just go up to that corner instead of cutting this out and then recutting that out. And we can hammer it with a rubber mallet to get it all the way back. Once that's done, we can either rivet this, and rivet these together. Or I might have one of my classes, you know, tack weld, 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 etc. And then from there, we'll worry about getting a handle on it, and that should be it. So this is how you're gonna do this, the poster version. I'm probably gonna go ahead and make a Corel video so you can see how it's done. Hope that helps. See ya.